Yeah, keep on here. Just check the. हाँ तो ये ऊपर ही रखा है
Hello, everyone. I'm Tara D'Souza, lover of life, laughter, the earth, music, dance, storytelling, and that's just my day job. I'm a woman of many sides. You may have seen my romantic side in Mere Brother Ki Dulhan, or perhaps you've seen my extremely friendly side in Mujhse Friendship Karoge. But maybe a side you haven't seen is my sporty side. And I'm sure most of you don't know this, but I actually grew up a tomboy. And my sporty side is one of my sides I love best. Well, acting takes a lot of endurance, which is something, again, a lot of people might not know. But sometimes we have to work, very often, we have to work crazy hours for many days on end, at strange times, sometimes all night, switching times, and that does take a lot of endurance, and we need to keep ourselves fit enough to be able to handle all of that. One of the ways I do that is through yoga, actually. And so it may look really simple, but to be able to do this and actually talk to you while I'm standing on my head has taken me, well, maybe a year of practice almost every day to make this look that simple. But that's just one of the many things that constant practice and endurance gives you, is the ability to do these strange things and make them look pretty simple. Speaking of endurance, I'm not sure how many of you know this, but on average, camels can go for up to 2 weeks without any water. Well, camel ki baat hai na? A Panju friend of mine actually told me that there's a zoo near Chandigarh, and one of the most popular attractions there is, in fact, the camel. And this is because all these Patiala peg drinkers, they just could not believe that someone can go without a drink for so long. Well, jokes apart, the animal kingdom is full of great examples of endurance. I don't know if you know, but there are these little birds called swifts. They actually fly for 200 days without a single break during migration, which is quite a lot of frequent flyer miles. But does anyone know the height of endurance? Anyone? I'll tell you. 25,000 feet. That's right. The bar-headed geese actually fly over the Himalayas, over some of the highest peaks in the world to get to the other side, which is just absolutely fantastic and quite inspirational. Well, the feats of sportspersons are also extremely inspirational. For example, Tendulkar, who defied age, teams, and critics by playing for more than 20 years, racking up the most runs, notching up the most centuries, and adjusting his guard 5 times more than any other cricketer, dead or alive. And who, of course, can forget the greatest? Muhammad Ali took blow after blow against a younger and more powerful George Foreman in what is known as the greatest boxing fight in history in Kinshasa. Well, Ali absorbed everything that Foreman threw at him, and in the end, he KO'd and exhausted Foreman to win the Rumble in the Jungle, as I'm sure you all know. Well, Muhammad Ali is one of my biggest heroes, and in fact, one of my most favorite quotes of all times is one of his. And he said, "I am the greatest." I said that even before I knew I was. Belief is everything. My first guest on this amazing chat show today is a gentleman who has shown that belief can move mountains. He sparred with bigger companies. He's outthought them, outfought them, outfoxed them, and outboxed them. His smartphone brand has stunned the world of mobile phones with a series of knockout performances. Please put your hands together and welcome on stage Managing Director and CEO of Gionee India, Arvind Vora.
Thanks, Tara, for those wonderful words.
You're welcome, Arvind.
I'm wondering what are you going to make me do?
So Arvind is going to start today with showing us how easy it is to do a split on stage.
इसको पंजाबी में बहुत कुछ और बोलते हैं. I'm sure some of my friends got what a split in Punjabi means.
Well, Arvind,
Excuse me for that.
you look super this morning. But what is your fitness mantra?
Simple. Keep running. So to keep running, you keep running a business. Simple. Skip. Keep speaking
Clean and fit, and we did see each other in the gym.
your meals, and keep swimming to create waves. But on the lighter side, I think something which I would like to advise everybody is exercise regularly and keep your mind fit. And it's only a fit body which can house a fit mind. And believe me, business will be just simple.
Well, you definitely make it appear. You must agree with me that there were much bigger, more established companies. And yet, so, because when Gionee entered the market, I think you were scared for a second and you never backed down.
Well, I think, I've had this habit of wearing loose trousers. So inside the legs are shaking, but you can't show it outside. Yeah, that's been the strategy. Well, Bangalore is the first time that we're with media here, so probably spend a minute or two telling them. When we came in the first year, people said, you've got a reputation on yourself, which is about 19 odd years. Do you want to screw it up? That was the first thing people told me. But then when we started business, first year was about 500 crores for us. Second year was close to 3,000. Now we're looking at setting up a plant in India where we're already manufacturing. I think by the end of this fiscal, all our products will be made in India. R&D is being spruced up, so on and so forth. But I think all that I can tell you is I was ready to get beaten, but very clear that I'll fight back. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
Well done. You've definitely come out on top, I think. And Spider-Man used to say, with great power comes great responsibility. You've achieved a lot. What are some of the mottos that you have in your life for yourself?
You'll be surprised, people look up to people. I look up to my team. For me, whatever we've achieved, it's actually the hard work of about 17 people in year one, 50 people in year two, and 125 people in year three that work at my office. But I think this actually goes out to 7,000 people that we have working out of shops. We have about 2,500 people working with our partners, and not to forget our associations with various business houses and various platforms that we've been working. So I guess it's about telling yourself that you will make it, and then it's about creating that belief in others that they will make it with you. Because ultimately, they'll drive the business. Alone, I can't do anything about it.
Well, you're definitely leading them in the right direction, and belief is key. Belief, I think, is everything. And also, it's the way you look at things. For example, the way you look at problems. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the way you look at problems, you see them as an opportunity in disguise.
Yeah, I mean, I think today's setup that we have is all about a problem that was identified. Many people saw it, but few found a result for it. So I think we've tried to put together a device or a product which will take care of most of the problems that most of us face in our lives when we're wanting to make it smarter.
All right. And last but not least, Arvind, Gionee and innovation go hand in hand. 2 years ago, you gave the world's thinnest, slimmest phone. Earlier this year, you gave us one of the most awesome camera phones ever. Is today going to be another revolution as well from Gionee?
You talked about endurance,
Yeah.
right? And I think what you see at the back is all about endurance. So today, I'm going to talk about a device which is probably going to stay with you and endure all the hardships that you probably have in the planet where it comes to mobile telephony. So that's what I'm going to bring to this audience today. Yeah. So I guess, in my opinion, you go and charge yourself. I'm not asking you to go away because I'm sure these guys want to look at a beautiful girl like you than me in this beard of mine. But I'll just charge the audience with what I have to say, and then we meet again.
Sounds like a good plan. Thank you, Arvind. I'll be back.
Very seldom you'll see the MC being asked to go off. It's actually the guest which is asked to go off. So I'm going to take a little bit of your while in trying to draw up a presentation of mine. My name is Arvind Vora. I happen to be the managing director and the CEO of this company. But believe me, this is just a designation that I'm allowed to use by my team. Ordinarily, I'm just one member of a team which we call as Dynamite because we've been able to do a lot in the last 3 years. I think this year's been a normal problem with the flicker. I'm using it ulta. Kindly bear with us because this is not made by Gionee. So 2015 has been a fantastic year for us. We actually celebrated 2 years in Hyderabad with about 1,500 people. We also unveiled our charity program that we do. And we unveiled a device which was much earlier than what people thought. It was the world's slimmest dual SIM phone known as the eLife S7. A few months back, we launched the world's most incredible Android camera smartphone. The launch was very different because we did not go about doing anything spectacular about it, but we actually made one of the most celebrated photographers of this era actually do a coffee table book for us, the Padam Shri Dr. Raghu Rai. So he did a coffee table book for us, launched it. It's a property that we build over time. It's about a year to year and a half when it takes you to actually come out with a brilliant camera phone, which actually will give competition to cameras. So what's next? So today I'm here to actually announce and give you a perspective of M5. And the tagline for this says, always empowered. Believe me, when you go through this presentation, you realize that you have a device at hand which will keep you always empowered. Let's get to business school. We were all taught this, Maslow's need hierarchy. How many of you all remember this? Ashish is actually covering his face because he never went to business school, right? But you know, this has got defined a little differently. It says phone and Wi-Fi. Then it has everything else. Because you get off a plane in a foreign country, the first thing you want to do is log on to a Wi-Fi. You get into a hotel, the first thing you want to do is log on to a Wi-Fi. Once you get to log on, and Wi-Fi eats a lot of battery. And if you're on 4G networks, that eats a lot of battery. So then the next thing that you're running around with is a charger. It's like a guy running with his trousers without the belt trying to catch them on. So if you don't have battery life, you're going to be off your pants. What's wrong? Ashish? Okay. Short battery life is actually the main pain point of all consumers across the world. And this has to change. So we took upon ourselves a mission a couple of months back. Can we change? A couple of years back, actually. Can we change it? So there are two solutions. Use a power bank or use fast charge. But in both the cases, you've got to carry an additional charger or a power bank. I mean, we're done with carrying one device. How do you expect to carry another two devices or carry any one of them? So what's the solution? Have a super battery, have low power consumption, and have fast charge, all put into one phone. And that's what the M5 is. It actually can boast about being a marathon device, and that's what we call as Marathon series from Gionee. Just to give you an idea of super battery capacity, some of my friends will be surprised. The battery capacity on this phone is a 6,020 milliampere. You know what 6,020 milliampere means is if I had a cable, I could actually get in a car over here, even to the extent of a Range Rover, and without its battery, use my phone to jumpstart the car. That's 6,020 milliampere battery, just to give you a comparison. But the problem is, I've not found the cable till now. So there are dual battery cells, because whenever you have huge battery, there is always a chance of blow up. So what you do is you don't make one battery, you make two batteries. So if you see the phone, it physically has two batteries. And then that makes it safer and makes it easier. Just to give you an idea, battery technology over the years has really changed. Earlier, you had a situation where you had the NIMH batteries, and then you came with the lithium polymer batteries, and so on and so forth. But today's batteries can last much more. You can do 400 charging cycles, still maintain 93% of your battery life. You can go up to 800 cycles and still maintain 80%. But what's important is charging cycles. So essentially, if you were to go by this, you could probably use your battery for 3 years without being bothered. Well, all doesn't end at battery. There's a lot of smart power consumption management that you've got to do. So we've been studying over the last couple of years or last couple of months, how is your battery consumed? And you'll realize that 60% of the time, it's on the screen. So what we've really done is picked up all this data and gone on to get components into the device, which will be lesser on consumption. So first thing we did, get me a PC here, I'll manage it. First thing we did was not go on with IPS, go on to an AMOLED screen. Two reasons. One is consumes less power and is slim. So with big battery, you have a chance of bloating up your phone. You don't bloat it because you use an AMOLED screen, slim, and then consumes much lesser power. Second thing is, it's a fact that dark makes you look smart, right? So if you have black backgrounds, your power consumption is that much less. And that's why you have a reason where most of my friends who are overweight wear black, so that they look slim. Now on the hardware side, you go on to CPU management, which actually will get you to a situation where your power management is done at the CPU level. What does that really mean for you? For quite some time, we've been talking about our design, we've been talking about our software. So on Gionee devices, most of you would be aware that we run something known as a custom ROM, which is our Amigo ROM, apart from the stock Android. So the Amigo ROM actually helps you do everything with your app management. Plain simple, you don't know what's open in your background. Your phone knows what's open in your background. Your phone decides you're not using these apps, shut them down. No point. This is the same case of having multiple windows on your PC, and then suddenly the PC becomes slow. What do? Shut the windows. Here, it has a direct impact on battery because your PC has a direct power source. You don't have a direct power source on your mobile phones. So simply shut out your apps which are not in use. Well, if you're still stuck in a situation where you're on 5% juice, you can get 62 hours of standby while you can use your phone, you can use your contacts, you can use your clock, and you can use your messaging services. So that's something which is known as the extreme mode. So what we've really tried to do here is do smart power management and use hardware which actually helps you smart manage power. So our efficiency is up by about 30%. Well, if 6,000 milliamperes was not enough, we used hardware and then we used our software to actually enhance the performance by another 30%. So while you will get, so I'm making a tall claim here. So while you have a hardware spec of 6,000, by virtue of software and optimized hardware, you have a 8,000 milliampere at your disposal. M5, for about a heavy user, 2 days, don't bother. You're done with your charger. For a normal user, 4 days, don't bother. You're done with charging your phone. Just talk a little bit about fast charge. One is we have dual charging points because of a simple reason, the biggest problem that you face with fast charge is heating up. So you have two batteries of 3,000 each, which will ensure that your device does not heat up, and there are two charging circuits to it. Second thing is charge for 10 minutes, last for 75 hours, do browsing for about over an hour, and do phone calls for as much as 5 hours. So charge 30 minutes and you can use the whole day. Just imagine how much time you saved. And if that was not enough, your friends and family who don't use an M5, you can actually be a source of charge for them. So you can actually charge two devices with the M5. There's also a theory, why do you need two smartphones? And what we came across was, one reason was multiple SIMs, and second was people wanted to use it as a backup phone. Again, I said carrying one device is a pain. Why would you want to carry two? Most of guys report, I lost my phone was picked off. Why do you want to complicate and double your problems? Just keep it single. So you have one phone, which gives you two 4G SIMs, has 5 modes, 12 bands. You can use any network, and if that was small, this can also work on a CDMA network. When I talked about throwing devices away, you can also look at throwing your hard drive away. 128 GB is huge enough in terms of having your hard drives also getting replaced. And if any of y'all with this spec is worried about design, then you shouldn't be, because that's exactly where Gionee's expertise is. At that spec, this is about 8.5 mm thick at the thickest point, and the outer rims are under 5 mm. So you're not going to carry a device which is not going to look good, because looking good is very important. What you look like is at times more important than what you function. So last but not the least, recapping, ultra slim design, metallic body, narrow bezel, and most important, metallic finish. Metal is in. Huge screen, 5.5, and there's no life without color. AMOLED, all of you all know by virtue of the quality of the screen and by virtue of the resolution, probably gives you the best viewing angle, probably gives you the best viewing. So at 5.5 inches AMOLED screen, I'm sure this is going to be your first screen. Well, if other things are small, this has also got an IR blaster. Most of us keep on fighting for remotes. You can use this device as a universal remote. Not to forget the Amigo. It's powered by 3.1. Chameleon is a feature where you can design your themes the way you want to do it based on the colors you like. It's got Image Plus in terms of helping you photograph better. It's got an AMI clone in terms of transfer of data, and obviously Super Screenshot. Specifications, just for you to recap, 5.5 HD AMOLED, 5 megapixel front, 13 rear, face detection, 32 GB memory, 3 GB RAM, Hi-Fi, Smart PA module, sensitive speaker, DTS, encryption, so on and so forth. And available across black, gold, and white colors. So I thought I would just want to say thank you, and hope you like what we've produced, and the consumers in India would have a solution to their problems on the battery. Thank you so much. Wow. Oh, wow. What happened to you?
I recharged. Well, Arvind.
What? Does the M5 do this to people?
It does. Ta-da!
Wow.
Well, Arvind, your latest smartphone is truly a democratic device.
Democratic? Why do you say that?
It gives the power back to the people.
Wow. I'm not sure many of you guys in the parliament are going to like that.
Well, we can forget about them for right now. They say that a marathon is a true test of character. One of my favorite quotes about marathons is, "At mile 20, I thought I was dead. At mile 22, I wished I was dead. At mile 24, I knew I was dead. At mile 26.2, I realized that I had become way too tough to kill." And if you think 26 miles is tough, imagine running 1,000 miles, which is about 1,500 kilometers.
1,600.
1,600 kilometers. Thank you, Arvind. Obviously, I didn't do too well in math in school. Our next guest is someone who has run all the way from Delhi to Mumbai. Just to put it in perspective, he did it in 30 days, and this is like running a marathon and a half every day for a whole month. It's something I cannot even imagine, and following in the likes of the long line of superheroes, Batman, Superman, Spider-Man, Iron Man, ladies and gentlemen, we give you Soul Man. Please put your hands together for Milind Soman.
Thank you. Tara, that was a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
You're welcome. Ooh.
And this is a great picture as well, yeah.
That's you?
I have to take off my shirt to prove it.
Well, I did a headstand. You can take your shirt off.
La 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 la.
Well, I have other businesses to do. That's the difference between showbiz and biz.
Yeah, no, it's great to be here. I mean, I was really blown away by your presentation.
Thank you.
I'm not really a tech savvy person. I don't really use too much technology. Yes, I use a phone. I won't tell you which one. But as you mentioned, yes, one of the biggest pain points is battery life. And I really think it's fantastic what you've done to make things simpler. And you know, just to correlate it with the marathon, what you've done, as you mentioned also, one of the most important things is belief. When you believe enough to take the first step, and then you innovate enough to last that long. You know, I think that's what you've done. I think it's really inspiring.
Okay, hold on. I'm going to backtrack here a second, Milind.
Okay.
I want to backtrack to this Delhi to Mumbai story because I still can't believe that. I mean, I think of doing that on a motorcycle and, you know, you're just sitting there riding and people are still like, 1,500 kilometers? 1,600 kilometers? So what were you thinking? Had you lost your mind for a bit? I mean, why did you do such a thing?
When you're running 1,500 kilometers, you stop thinking. You don't think. The fact is that your body is doing all the work. Your body has adapted to what you expect of it. And you don't think anymore because at that point in time, it is your body that's more important. The mind has to shut off. It's like you shut off all the apps in the phone so that it works longer. So you shut off the mind, you shut off all the things that you think could be obstacles, you shut off all the negativity, and you let your body do what it is meant to do. That's it.
And what did your friends, what did people tell you when you told them you had this plan?
Well, I thought the reason I thought of it was, of course, because of this television company that wanted to do a long run to raise some money. And they asked me what I could do. And of course, I had no idea. I just kind of thought, why not run from Delhi to Bombay? So, as we know, endurance running is very addictive activity. And once you've run 10 kilometers and you feel good about it, you want to push yourself a little bit more. So you run 20 kilometers. And then you feel great and you want to push yourself a little bit more and you run 40 kilometers. Then you feel like a king. And you say, let me run a little bit more. And then you run 1,000 kilometers and you feel like God. You know? So that's how it is. So when I said, I want to feel better than what I feel like when I run 40 kilometers, I'm going to run from Delhi to Bombay, and everybody said, you're going to die. Nobody does that. The human body can't do it. But that is, in fact, a function of the mind. To, of course, create situations that you can imagine to protect yourself. Have you thought of this? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? It's like having all these apps, really. But you don't need them. Once you have belief, then no, I can do it. My body can do it, I can do it, together we can do it, because the mind and the body have to work together, actually. The energies all have to come together. It's like a team. It's not mind over matter or anything like that, which people do talk about. It's mind and matter working together. And finally, when I did it, it was actually easy. So it just shows the kind of restrictions that we put on ourselves when we even think or try to imagine to do things. And that's why I think this is something that's extra special. I feel that you're doing so much that is innovation, really showing the world what can be done. Not being afraid to think whether this is possible or not. Just going right there and doing it, saying, no, I don't care what you think. You think this can't be done, you think that can't be done, you think the other thing can't be done, somebody's going to die, something's going to happen. I've done it. That's it.
No, I think, when we were chatting last evening,
Yeah.
and you rightly said, what I did was an outcome of what I trained for.
Yeah.
And, I think what we've also really today bought out as a device is about the kind of in-depth understanding we did, the limits that we pushed on technology, the limits we pushed on design, the limits we pushed on, the software optimization. So I think what the world really sees is the result.
They do.
Nobody really sees what goes into making of it.
So I want to congratulate you for that, because I understand as a runner, when people say, oh, you run a marathon, how do you do that? Or you did the Ironman, how did you do that? And recently I ran from Guwahati to Shillong, which is 95 kilometers straight uphill for 5,000 feet. They said, how did you do it? So it's all a coming together of 14 years of running. And not 14 tough years, 14 amazing years, running regularly, applying yourself every day, a little bit. It's not that I run a marathon every day. I run maybe sometimes half an hour, sometimes 1 hour, sometimes 45 minutes, but regularly, consistently. And today, at the age of 50, let me say that, I can do an Ironman, I can run from Guwahati to Shillong, I can run 1,000 miles, I can just do whatever I want.
So you've actually crossed all your limitations.
Yeah, there aren't any. But to know that, when you say that, there are no limits, you have to know during your preparation what your limits are, till you get to that point where there are none.
Well, I was actually going to ask you how you managed to do it, but you've pretty much answered that. Arvind, what correlation do you see between Millens having pushed his limits so far to what normal people might think is madness? How do you relate to that with Gionee as well, and the limits that you guys are pushing for?
I think, when we were launching the M5 and we were at the drawing board, who do we speak to and who epitomizes endurance, who would be a person who people look at and say that, yes, there's a lot of preparation behind it. And believe me, there was only one name which came to us, and which was Milind. So I think what I relate to is just shutting yourself and going ahead and doing what you believe in. And therefore, we thought that getting Milind here to speak to the audience and actually having from him to understand what marathon can do to human beings. I just wanted to relate it that what marathon can do to the lives of human beings. Because we're constantly chatting. Today, he says running is an addiction. In India, believe me, chatting is an addiction. Talking is an addiction. Today, you run out of batteries. I mean, you're mad. So I just wanted to, bring in a point and and I thought he was the strongest candidate, and who can be stronger than Iron Man, to actually say that there is a huge relationship between big battery and marathon running. So that's the idea, and I've already, we've spent about 45, 50 minutes between yesterday and today, and I personally believe that this initiative will take it to a different level in terms of marathon batteries and in terms of marathon running, and the two of us coming together. He's an institution in himself, and I'm happy he's ready to work, ready to be with us. So the two will combine together, and we will, other than selling phones, also give a great flavor of marathon to the people in India.
Wow. No, I like that. I think, of course, it really relates on many levels. I haven't really attended many technological press conferences or seminars or anything like that, but I really feel that the relationship is that, I think we're all here to inspire. When we do our best, we not only get as good as we can get, but we'll also inspire other people to do their best, to get as good as they can be. So in the world of technology, or mobile telephony as you called it, you are showing the world how good a mobile phone device can be. So of course everybody's going to copy you in the future. And even for me as a runner, I feel that, I don't tell people what to do, but they just watch what I'm doing and they get inspired and they begin to better themselves. So that is a great connection, I feel, that we have. And I feel also that one other point that you made is that, you save so much time with your phone. And that is a change. It's a small change in your life when you feel, okay, I don't need to charge my phone for 2 hours every day. And that 2 hours I can use for many other things. And I tell people when they ask me, how do you get fit? What do you have to do? What are the life-changing things that you need to do? You have to change your entire life. So I tell them, you don't have to change your entire life. You have to change one thing. One important thing in your life. When you make that change, your entire life will change. It's like exercise. We all eat, we all sleep, we do the things we have to do, we have our jobs and businesses, but we do not exercise. This is something, that has happened only recently in the last 45 or 50 years, that people have realized globally the need to exercise. Because earlier we used to work with our hands a lot. Nowadays, because of technology, we don't. So how do you keep fit? What are the things you need to do? Are there hundreds of things you need to do? No, there is only one. You need to exercise regularly. And it doesn't mean going to the gym for 2 hours. It means even at home, like Tara does, standing on her head for 5 minutes. That 5 minutes, that 10 minutes, whatever time you can take out for yourself, and believe me, it's a priority. Without your health, you have nothing. That 5 or 10 minutes alone, just that change, will change your entire life. So it's a huge connection. Just make that one change. Change your phone. I'm not telling you to change your phone. That he can tell you to change your phone. Or when you just see it, you'll change your phone. But change your phone, change your one habit, and your life will change.
Okay, Milind. Well, as a marathon institution, as you've been so called, I'm going to ask a bit of a cheeky question. Do you think it's justified to have marathon before the M5?
Well, that's what I've been saying. I think that there's a big connection. It really, and I would say that running the marathon is not tough. The actual marathon is the preparation. So when people asked me, again, I'm mentioning Ironman. For those who don't know, the Ironman is a triathlon. It's a 3.8 kilometer swim, a 180 kilometer cycle, and a 42 kilometer full marathon done consecutively. So I took 15 hours to do it. So people asked me, how did you survive for those 15 hours? How could you keep going for 15 hours? And I said that it's not the 15 hours. The 15 hours were easy. It was the preparation that allowed me to do those 15 hours. That was tough. And why was it tough? It was not each day that was tough. The actual practice was not tough. It was telling your mind, your will, and your spirit saying, you know, you have to do this. A little bit every day. And a little bit every day adds up to this. You know? So like you said, when you see the final thing, you say, okay, how did that happen? You don't see the hours and hours of work that went into it. You don't see the focus, you don't see the dedication, you don't see the team effort. But that's all that went into it, which is not tough. It just means that you do have to do the right thing every day. That's all.
Well, that's amazing. I'm sitting with two marathon men here. The hours that go into performing amazing physical feats, or the hours that go into creating an amazing device like this one. I think they're quite similar, and that's what we've been talking about throughout this little chat show.
But I really loved your headstand. It was remarkable. It was remarkable. You went on talking. I think out of everything that you've seen on stage here today, I think that was really
we should give it up
fantastic. It was fantastic. I mean, the way you spoke, upside down, amazing. I've never seen that before, even on India's Got Talent or anything.
I should take it to India's
You
Got
should.
Talent.
You
Thank
should.
you, Milind. All right, well, I have one final question.
Sorry.
Go
It has
on.
nothing to do with it, but you know,
Interrupt me.
Tara plays the guitar as well. She's a singer. When you go on to India's Got Talent, you have to be upside down, playing the guitar and singing a song. That would be incredible.
I'll keep that in mind. I'll wear a T-shirt that says, thank you, Milind, for the idea as well. Upside down. Yeah, it'll have to be the other way around. All right, well, one final question. You know, the running's great, all of that's fantastic. What other fulfillment do you get out of it? Where are you pushing it towards? Where are you headed?
Well, nowhere really. I don't have a goal. I don't have a goal or even a dream. You know, it's just that how I feel every moment. I feel great right now, right here, and every day when I run or whatever I do, I feel amazing. That's what it's all about. I don't train to run a marathon or train to do an Ironman. It's a level that I'm at. So for me, the goal is to be at a level where I can do anything. So every day, I'm just upping that level. So today, I can do this. Tomorrow, I can do this. Day after tomorrow, I can do that. And that is the moment that I'm at, and I love it.
Well, I think that's actually, you would probably agree with that, Arvind, wouldn't you?
Well, you know, there's a small difference. Milind does it for himself. I have to also do it for public in this sense, keep the shareholders happy, keep the consumers happy. But what I agree with him is, yes, you have to set a level and constantly up the bar. So as far as we are concerned, just talking about marathon, and probably that'll give a perspective. We started out with about 3,000 milliamperes, saying marathon battery. Got dissatisfied, upped it to 4,000, got dissatisfied, upped it to 5,000. And that's why you have a 6,000 milliampere battery. So the key, in my opinion, don't stay content, right? Keep on fighting and keep on doing something which will keep on increasing the bar. If you do that, you'll definitely stay in business. Milind will keep on doing what he's doing. I'll keep on doing what I'm doing. And I can tell you, if we combine the two which we are talking about, you know, marathon battery, you run, you have all your apps on your device, use your device for running, use your device for monitoring what you're doing.
And you could probably run without having to worry about needing to charge your phone along the way, Milind.
Yay.
Well, both of you are definitely a source of inspiration for me, for sure, and I'm sure for others. And what you've taught me is don't run away from challenges, run over them.
Yep.
Is that yours?
It is mine.
Whoa.
A Tara D'Souza quote.
Nice.
Well, we have another entity with us today who are intrinsically linked with the word marathon. And I say this because when I get onto their site, it's always a marathon shopping experience. You know who I'm talking about, India's biggest marketplace and Bangalore's very own. Make some noise for Flipkart. Please join me in welcoming two directors of Flipkart, Sandeep Karva and Vignesh Ramakrishnan. Hello. Well, Sandeep, would you like to tell us a little bit about, I think you have some exciting news, don't you?
Yeah. Actually, when I was sitting there and I was looking at this chair, I was thinking that I don't have those legs, I don't have that abs, and I don't have that sexy beard. So what I'm going to go there and do. So that's what, when we thought.
But did you see the presentation or just
yes.
the legs?
Oh, yes. Yeah. So
I
that's
wasn't
when.
here during the presentation.
He was looking at mine.
Ah, sorry.
I told you I wear loose trousers so that my shivering is not
Actually,
seen.
he was telling us sometime back that he used to walk the ramp in his college
I
days.
just did it last year for.
Last year.
Last year for. What was the guy?
Wendell?
This year for Wendell and last year was for Jatin Kochar.
Okay, yeah. So here I am, the sleeve-up guy. We're going to talk about business. This is a phone which has kept us excited for a good time. There are two brands up there. Those brands are very choosy about things which they do, right? We are very choosy about what products we would want to launch, what products we're going to put our name behind. And we are having a product from Gionee, which has been, again, very choosy about how to launch their products as well as what kind of products they would want to launch. In fact, I've been talking to Arvind for about 2 years, and it was really a difficult task to get him to do an exclusive e-commerce or an online launch, because he's been really protective about all of his other partners also. Milind was mentioning that the most difficult part of anything is the preparation, right? With due respect to the 15 hours, but the difficult part was the preparation. And same is the story of this launch. We've been talking about this one product for about over 6 months, I think so, yeah. And initially when we got the first spec sheet, we were looking at, we were really impressed that 6,000 mAh battery, okay, right? Then we went back, okay, can we put a very sleek and like a sexy design into the phone? That's when we went back and we did some back and forth. Then again, when we got something else, we said, oh, can we have some power pack? So can we increase the RAM? Can we increase the ROM? Right? I'm talking about too many technical stuff. But yes, the entire 6 months, today we've managed to get a product which is not just about battery, but not just about the battery. It is a power pack phone. It's a beautiful design. And I think that's going to complete it's a complete package, and that's a thing which consumers at Flipkart are looking forward to. Mind you, Flipkart has about 18 to 20% share in the smartphones market right now today, and hence we have a lot of data about consumers, what consumers are looking forward to. And this is a product which is the result of that data. We've mined that data, we've looked at what people use, what people are looking to buy, and what are the pain points. So today we have a product which can do justice to that data now. Yeah.
Well, you guys seem supercharged. You seem super, I think while I just scared everyone else.
6,000 milliampere. 8,000 now by optimization.
8,000. All right, well, fantastic. So just in case you missed out on any details of this fabulous new Marathon M5, we're going to take a look at a little video right now. Can we have the video, please? So perhaps we can have some of these beautiful brand new phones with us on stage. And we have time, I think, for a little photo.
I think everybody would be very keen to know what does it cost.
Oh yeah,
I was going to skip by that and see if anyone noticed.
So, I think it's a priceless device. Yeah, so maybe we should all hold one of it and feel how the device is. And in the meantime, on the background, you will get the price. Tara, one for you also. But you're not taking that home.
I'll put my running shoes back on really quickly.
You have one new. Sure. I don't mind getting as close. And can we have the,
Can we have the price?
yeah, so this device, I think, Sandeep, I don't think I should have the right of giving the price out. So probably you need to give the price out and ensure it's the right price.
Oh, yes.
Immediately.
I'll just talk about it.
Yeah, just switch on the screen. Yeah, that's the best thing. No? That's Raghu's photograph. Switch on. Just switch on, sir.
The side button. There you go.
I think you should come here.
Thank you.
I know, I know.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, charges? Where are the charges?
Photoshop the screen. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Right,
I'll
it's
talk
already
about
flashed?
Oh, it's flash.
Yeah, it's already there.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
but I'll let Sandeep do the honors.
Sandeep, you want to do the honors?
yes, the price is out there. This interesting device is going to be available for 17,999. And the most interesting part is that you don't have to wait till midnight or tomorrow or for a flash sale. This device is going to be available immediately, starting sometime now on Flipkart. So please log on to Flipkart using your Flipkart app and buy the device. Thank you.
Yeah, I think, yeah, with all this, we are done with chargers. We have no chargers.
Are you sure, Milan? Are you sure? Well, thank you, guys. We won't be throwing the phones. Thank you all so much. I think that's all we have for you today. It's never been easier being part of a marathon, and I hope you had a great time. I'm going to sneak away with this one. Well, there you have it, the Gionee Marathon M5.